This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles level 4, the airport. And like I said at the end of the last video, it didn't matter how bad that you got beat down as long as you made it through, because there'd be an easy way to power up all of your remaining turtles. And we walk through the front door and there's a full pie. So we just use Don to knock out the guys from down below, so we're not making things worse for the guys that are injured. Then we switch to who's going to need it most. Fill them up. The enemy respawns, so we take Donatello and finish them off from above. Then we go back out and we do it all again. So we got a different set of enemies this time. And if you walk the guy off the screen, you can get him to vanish and you won't have to deal with him, so you get the full pie. On this level I like to use Raphael because the Sai is able to take out some of the bugs up close. We get a couple of these fleas here, and then we can, well, if we had timed it a little better, we could just jump over this guy and not have to fight him. And then we're going to walk all the way to the right, so this guy just falls right down the stairs. Don't got to fight him. Switch to Donatello. Take the flying head guy out from below. And that'll allow us to get these ropes without taking any more damage. Now we're going to have to take that guy out, but for some reason he fell, so we can just walk right past him. And right here is where Raphael really comes in handy, because the Michelangelo and Leonardo take 2 hits to take those out, and Donatello is a little bit slower, so Raphael works best. Plus, you do not want to mess around and lose Donatello on this level at any cost. So we use our ropes, and you can briefly see it, but there is a bug that's flying back and forth, so don't try to jump off of these ropes, just walk off. The only way that those bugs hit you is when you try to jump. Then they get on the screen a little bit faster, so they stay where they are instead of just vanishing right away like that one briefly did. So this guy's a pain. We probably should have just changed to Donatello and taken him out. We got him a couple of times, so we'll just jump up, finish him off with Raph, and we just wait for the bug to swing back. He would have flown over top of us, but we'll just take him out anyway. And here we don't really have to fight these guys. I didn't really time it that great. If you wait till both those mechs are walking away, you can jump down and then run to the elevated platform there without being hit. And then of course we use Donatello for the death from above, keeping as much energy as possible. And the boomerang guys, once you hit them, they jump up in the air and they kind of stay in one place, so it's kind of easy to take out. Once we're out of the building, we duck into the next sewer hole. Each one's numbered. I'll show you the way that I like to go. You can go multiple ways. Again, you gotta just kind of back up from the boomerang guys, and then when the gun turrets are flashing, just kind of wait until they shoot, and then you can take them out. And once again, we'll go to Donatello, so we don't have to stand toe-to-toe with the guy and worry about losing any more energy. See, there you go, that's what I was talking about, as the laser shoots out. It's just best to finish those off, not have to worry about them shooting later on. Now with that guy I was a little too lackadaisical and kind of forced me to go back, so then another boomerang guy respawned. But with enough practice, you get used to attacking and then retreating a few steps. So I like to take this route where we jump into number 3. Number 4 was at the bottom. I think obviously 3 is a little bit easier to get through, which sets up there's a couple of difficult tubes you got to go through, but this way seems to be a lot easier than going with the higher ones when you have the opportunity. So there's going to be a lot of these moving platforms, and they're really going to mess with you on this level, especially in combination with a lot of the boomerang guys. It'll just pop up once you get to the other side of the screen. As you can see, got in real trouble there. Almost lost Raph, so we're gonna have to go with Leonardo, and here's what I was talking about earlier. Takes him a couple of shots to take out those bugs, but we're out the other side without too much of a problem. And here, if we had Raph, we'd just drop down right away and then kill this bug. But with Leo, we kind of got to do this back and forth, and then so we can swing down. The boomerang guys aren't going to hit us. You just got to walk across that gap. Don't try to jump. You'll hit your head, and then you'll fall in between the two boomerang guys, and they'll just light you up. So, and again, use Don for the death from above, and that's a real easy one. Now if you go straight up at this point, you could get into tube 12, but that's not a way I really like to go. I like to go all the way to the end here. You can't kill that foot guy. Even the bow staff isn't long enough to reach through the fence and get him. So we just jump into 13, and 13 is where you can rescue a turtle. So when we come up on this side, and since Raph only has the 1 hit point, we're going to jump in and use him, but then obviously I have to change to get to Donatello so we can take the boomerang guy out. Had I turned around a little bit faster, we would have been able to take that bug out without getting hit. Now we'll go back to Raph, just in case we lose him. We can go back into the previous tunnel and rescue him. So, plus there's a difficult jump coming up that I'll explain. So we kind of got to wait for the gun turret thing so we can get by. Make sure to take out that bug. Normally you want to be facing the other way, and if you hit this lava, it's instant death. So that's why I like to use Raph or my lowest energy turtle, just in case I screw up that jump. And then we can come back into 13 here, rescue them. They're fresh as a daisy. So we'll stay with Don so we can go back in and take this guy out from above. Like I said, turn around a little bit faster. It's easy peasy to take that guy out. Now on the jump that's going to be coming up, we got to be careful because it's you either have to do like a little light jump, or you have to really use the moving sideways sidewalk to your advantage, and it'll propel you where you can do a full jump and not hit your head like I did there. So then we're clear to the other side, and we'll take number 15. I'm going to take out the bug and the gun turret. The sidewalk messed me up a little bit there, but not too big of a deal. Now that we can see the gun's coming up, we're able to get a little bit better timing. And we're able to get the full pizza, so being knocked in didn't matter. We got a little lucky. We got the shurikens, but as you can tell, we can't throw the shurikens through the block, so we're just going to have to, well, not stand up right in the middle of those. So the timing got a little off there. Otherwise, we could have jumped up on the block and probably gotten out of there without too much damage. We want to get over top of everybody. Take out the turrets there. And we'll change to Don to take this guy out. Kind of took more of a beating than we wanted. Gotta be real careful here so you don't accidentally jump into the lava and get an instant death. Take out the gun turrets so you don't get shot and then get flung off the moving sidewalk. And then we take the top one, which is 17. Change to Don. You'll see why you want to keep Don protected at all costs and just use him for the death from above attacks when we get to the very end of this level. So we want to take out as many of the enemies as we can with Raph before switching to Don. The moving sidewalks throw you off, so it becomes a little bit of a problem, but you'll get your timing down without too much concern. And now, this is where it gets really tough, because throughout most of the game, you're just used to running across these gaps like that, and not having to worry about falling them in. And this is where you change to Mike and Leo, because now you have to fall through these gaps. And so, that's an instant kill if the moving wall spikes get you. So we'll have to go back in from the beginning and do that whole thing all over again. But this part is so difficult. I normally just move up to the gap, and then I kind of take my finger off the directional pad and kind of let the guy fall in. It takes a little getting used to, and you never quite master it, from my perspective anyway. You get through so you're not dying all the time, but you're never super comfortable doing it. And at any point you could slip and lose a guy. So you can see you want to approach slowly and fall, but you can't be too slow or then you have to rush like that. So it's all a balancing act. And if you just lose one guy, it's fine. There'll be a spot to rescue a guy next level, like we did with Raph earlier in this one. But losing two guys is really going to hurt. So again, we just finish these things off, and we went a little bit further back, and the boomerang guy respawned. But not to worry, by the time we fall down, he's off the screen. So, I mean, at least we get the pizza, so we're able to help out the guys who have done the heavy lifting throughout the level. And while you are falling into that second one, you can do a little bit of a move and hit the gap. But that gets us all the way down into 17, and then we find the door for 18. We walk right in. We find the giant mouser, and this is why you need Don. This is super easy. All you got to do is stand in this exact spot and hit the up attack. And he can't hit you with his laser eyes, and you'll hit the orb just by standing there. So you make pretty quick work of him. You got the cracks in his skull, and then his head explodes. And then that'll get us to the turtle blimp and moving us on to the next level. So we'll see you for that video. Have fun watching us load into the blimp. Later.